Hello, my friends, and welcome. I'm Cheryl, and this is Your Journey Yoga. I appreciate you very much for tuning in. Today we have Yin Yoga, a wonderful practice of slowing things down, of really embracing where you are within a pose. So asanas are poses, and they are a place where we want to come to find full, deep breath, awareness of the mind and the body within the pose. So it's really taking time to spend some time in those poses, working on the ligaments, the fascia, beyond just the muscle structure. Oftentimes as we move through our traditional yoga class that you and I do together, it's a little faster paced, not super fast. So, but typically 5 to 7 breaths in a pose. We're going to spend some good time in each and every pose. So if you do feel that you need to come out of the pose, it's okay. There's no judgment, there's no criticism. So some different things to look for and to be aware of and to be mindful of. When we come into the poses, if there is ever any shooting pain, not a good thing. If ever there is tingling going on, that's an indication that a nerve is being impacted. Maybe you need to adjust. Pins and needle feeling, that kind of thing. We don't want to make those nerves unhappy. So there's either pressure being placed on it or it's being pinched and you just want to get out of that a little bit, so maneuver around. So don't feel that you're stuck in a pose ever. So you can always adjust and move. We really want to focus on finding our edge. Okay, so our edge is in a pose where it almost starts to be effortless, where we can really focus on each and every breath we take. So you're not pushing too far. You're not being overly gentle. There's this kind of gentle pull, or if you feel like a dull ache, maybe that's an indication that those muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, the fascia is being stretched in a good way. We're trying to promote blood flow to that area to help it release. All right, so this is a lot of information. If you're not familiar with Yin Yoga, it is a much slower pace. So it helps us tune in and tune out. So for some folks, it can be very, very challenging. To be perfectly honest, this is a little more challenging for me as well. So I'm right there with you in this. And it's a practice, right? So teaching ourselves, our bodies, our minds that it's okay to slow down, to stop, and really embrace where you are is a beautiful gift. So if you're in the pose and you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to get out of this pose, remind yourself of that, okay? It's a practice, okay? Be kind to yourself. So as we come into our practice, if you need a bolster, a pillow, I am going to do this yin practice with no props. But if you really, really need props, guys, it is absolutely fine. So again, pillow, blanket, bolster, block, strap. You probably won't need a strap today, but any and all of those things are always welcome. We will do some other videos where we pull those props into play so that we can use those. But today, no props. So let's just find a seated position, and we're going to release those hands down by our sides, and I just invite you to find a seated position where you can sit up nice and tall. Now, if cross-legged position you're like not happening, whether it's for the knees or if it's just really tight hips, I want you to just find a place where those legs are comfortable but uncomfortable, or I should say comfortable being uncomfortable. How's that? And we're going to sit up nice and tall. I want you to really focus on your posture. Shoulders are relaxed, arms are down by your sides, and I want you to close your eyes. And we're going to breathe. Now here, as we find our breath, this is the breath we want to keep with us throughout our practice in each and every pose. A diaphragmatic breath. So one indication of are you breathing through the diaphragm or from the diaphragm is, are those exhales longer than the inhales? We really want to focus on those exhales, guys, because that's where the magic happens. That's where the body starts to release. So as you breathe in and out through the nose, keeping the heat and the moisture within your body, focus on those exhales through the nose, slow and steady. Now as we sit tall in our easy pose, how does your body respond? Are you holding tension in those hips, in those shoulders, in the neck? Can you let that go? It might take a concentrated effort to let it go. Now, oftentimes, our Yin Yoga practice, you can be like, oh, come on, can we get to the next pose? Have patience, guys. Take the time. Your body will be so thankful. Now we notice where the head sits over the shoulders. Is the chin forward? Is the head heavy? We want to pull it back just slightly. Ears right over those shoulders. And as we sit tall, those shoulders right over the hips. As we check in with those hips, are we holding tension there? Can you let it go? Arms are long and heavy, shoulders are soft and gently pulled away from the ears. And let's gently open those eyes and bring the soles of the feet together as we come to butterfly. So we're going to get a lot of work in today through the hips into that lower back. Always good spaces to be working on. So we can pull those feet in, or you can have the feet out and away from you. So just be mindful. So again, we're going to be here for a little while. Here we go for the props. If you have them and you need them, you can place blocks or blankets or pillows underneath your knees to kind of help ease, almost supporting you, if you will, rather than letting gravity just pull those knees open. You can have the feet in closer. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Hands can be at the ankles or the shins, the knees. You can reach down. You can take a hold of the outside edge of your foot. And we're going to sit up nice and tall. I want you to feel that chest coming through the arms just slightly, drawing those shoulders down and away, and that length all the way out through the crown of the head. As you find your butterfly, close the eyes. Nice big deep breaths. Are we pulling on those feet? We don't want to pull. Can you feel the length in the crown of your head? Out through the crown of the head. Tall posture, guys. Translates into better posture even when we're standing, walking, giving us better balance, more confidence. As we're nice and tall, more room for those lungs to expand and contract. Now just as you move through the body, as we are present within this pose, our butterfly, is there any part of your being that is showing resistance? Now again, always checking in, making sure that there is never pain. If there's a little tingly sensation going on where that is, and adjust if you need to. Feeling that blood flowing freely, oxygen flowing freely with each of those big, deep diaphragmatic breaths. Mind quiet. As we stay in our poses, the mind has this tendency to want to remain busy. Give it permission to slow down, to be present right here, focusing on the breath, quieting the body. And I want you to just think, what do you hold on to? When you can't clear your head, what is it that stays with you? If it's to-do lists, let them go. They'll be there when we return. If you're a worrier, recognize that it's okay. That's a sense of care. It means you love deeply. And that's a beautiful thing. But that worry, my friends, it can take a toll. Let it go. You are not responsible for the decisions other people make. Let go of yesterday. Try not to anticipate even later today, but be present right here. Are you a constant mover, constant doer? Right now, your to-do list is to breathe. And let's gently open those eyes. Release your hands. Let's extend those legs out. This should feel good. Yes. Get that blood flowing. Give those knees just a little shake a little bit. Checking in. You smiling? I hope so. You feeling light? I hope so. So this time away, guys, is such a gift. So our dragonfly pose, our wide-legged forward fold, we can have feet flexed, you can have your feet soft. The idea here is to surrender in, okay? So your initial response of your body, particularly when we come into those wide-legged stances, is for the muscles to contract, to support, to protect. We want to recognize that it's okay. So we want to send the messages to the nervous system that it is okay to relax. So again, if you'd like a pillow, a bolster, a big cushion, a big blanket. So depending upon your flexibility, this is going to get into the groin, it's going to get into the hips, it's going to get into the glutes and the lower back. So we're going to take those hands forward and we're going to walk ourselves forward. So we're just going to give ourselves a few moments, and you're going to notice as we stay here that your body, as it gets a little more forgiving and finds that edge, and that edge slowly shifts, that you might sink a little deeper into the pose. Beautiful. That's exactly what you want. So again, it's not about necessarily staying exactly where you are, and it doesn't matter what your pose looks like. It's about how it feels. So if we're here, and this is as far as we come, if we're here and this is as far as we come, I want you to surrender in. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to let go of that tension. So if that means that you need to engage those muscles first intentionally, and then as you exhale, let them go, that works great. If you are able to start to sink by bending those elbows. Maybe you transition out from a big pillow to a smaller pillow. Slowly releasing down. So maybe you have a block that you're resting your forehead against. Maybe you can extend those arms out and sink. Maybe we turn our face, resting the cheek or the chin. Maybe we bring those arms out to the sides. Again, we just really want to let ourselves surrender into this pose. So where are you holding the tension? Are you able to let it go? So I just had some in my left hip. Why not both hips? No idea. just because the body felt like it needed to take care of something. So as I recognize where I'm holding that tension and that resistance, I could actively let it go. You guys, that is the coolest feeling. Letting things go. Again, focusing on the breath. You can always stack your hands out in front too, so if having the chin or cheek to the mat's not super great, maybe you just need a little lift. So as we focus on that breath, those exhales, carrying away negative energy, tension, tightness, visualizing those ligaments, those tendons, the fascia, untangling, lengthening, letting go. So again, checking in, no pain, no tingles, no pins and needles, just blood flow. That quiet, gentle strength, challenging in a totally different way. So guys, an amazing gift if you are, like I said, a doer, a mover, and a shaker. So you've always got to be going. Yin Yoga, your body needs it, your mind needs it. Such a special gift and a great balance to bring into your life. Now, oftentimes in our Yin Yoga practice, you can find an emotional release because we hold our emotions in different joints, typically neck, hips, lower back, shoulders. So as we work through and to open up those joints, we can release kind of a flood of emotions. You guys, that's a gift. Letting go of things that we hold on to. Breathing through the discomfort, through the challenge, allowing that body to settle. Always moving towards a healthier, more balanced life in every way. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. Ooh, how are those hips? Shake those legs out. Sit up nice and tall. Let's bring those legs forward. I'm going to turn sideways along the length of my mat and sit up nice and tall. Staff pose. So staff pose seems like it shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? It's not a super active pose. It's actually a very active pose. So staff pose, arms are down by our sides, very similar to where we started in that easy pose, cross-legged position. Arms are down by our sides. I want you to feel that 90-degree bend in your upper and lower body. And we're going to pull those toes back towards the shins. So an active stretch through the backs of the legs. Breathe, stretching through the soles of the feet, strengthening ankles, strengthening quadriceps, strengthening your core, because it takes some core activity to sit up nice and tall. Now I want you to find a focal point rather than closing your eyes. Find a focal point to look out. Just beyond those feet. We have a little tuck of our chin, so we're not looking up, we're not looking down, just kind of straight out a little bit of a diagonal line. And breathe. Now here we're going to add a little bit of movement here. So we're going to point the left foot and keep that right foot flexed. Still very active, still mindful of that core, still focused on that focal point. And switch, right foot points, left foot flexes. So this oppositional movement, let's switch again. A little bit of a mind game, body awareness, and switch. So staying a constant in that upper and lower body and just switching, activating different muscles down each leg and into each foot, and switch. Still focusing on that breath, guys, and switch. And switch. A sense of gratitude. Movement, you guys, it's a gift, right? Could you imagine? That would be very challenging for me. Not being able to move and switch. heart goes out. The strength, the inner strength of those folks. So I am grateful each and every second of each and every day to be able to move, to breathe, to be here with you guys. Now pull those toes back, activate, feel that stretch down those calves, into those feet. A little shakiness, guys, is good. We're doing this for a while. Now point your toes, hard as you can point those toes. Feel that stretch all the way down the tops of the feet. Now soften your feet and let's walk those hands forward, coming to a forward fold. So again, you can have a blanket, a pillow, anywhere along the front of your legs. You can bring a block between your legs for your forehead to rest against. Legs can be separated a little bit or side by side. We're just going to release down. And we're going to be here for a few. So settling in. Noticing where your body tenses up. You can place a block or a pillow underneath or a bolster underneath your knees if this is just too intense. You can just bend those knees if you don't have those props, but you need a little reason, a little bit more of a modification rather than those legs long. Head's heavy. Arms are heavy. Gravity is just gently pulling us down. We give ourselves permission to release that resistance. Those big, full, deep breaths in and out through the nose, signaling that nervous system that everything is okie dokie. Feeling that great stretch in that lower back, stretching the fascia all the way down the spine. Noticing that gentle pull. Hopefully it's a gentle pull. If it's too intense, guys, back off of those hamstrings and your glutes. Now you can play with this too and really soften those feet. Or if you've got the flexibility, pulling those toes back towards the crown of the head. You can play with it a little bit with the arms, extending those arms out, or perhaps wrapping the wrists around the outside edge of your feet, interlacing your fingers. So really it just depends upon the flexibility you have. But if any of that changes things, guys, and the intensity goes through the roof, or you start getting that pain or those tingly pins and needles, back off a bit. Breathe. Can you feel yourself melting? Can you feel that tension just dissipating? Can you hear your body saying thank you? Releasing the palms to the mat, slowly, one vertebra at a time. Roll it up. Just let those hands slide up along the outside of the legs as you sit up nice and tall. Let's do a big shoulder roll up and back. And shoulders slide down and away. Beautiful. We're going to sweep that right leg around behind and pull that left knee in. So we've come to like a letter Z, if you will. And we're going to sit up nice and tall. Breathe. Now we're working to get that right sit bone to the mat. You might notice that you have to lean over to one side. If you need to tuck a bolster, a little blanket, anything underneath that right cheek, feel free to do so. And we're working quadricep, hip, groin, and knees, and a little bit of a rotation to get into that lower back. So checking in. How are you? If you need to straighten this leg, allow that leg to come out to the side. Perfect modification. It's about taking care of your body, right? It's not about working through the pain. It's about working through the discomfort and finding the breath within the discomfort of a stretch, but that never includes pain, okay? So discomfort and pain are totally different. So that nice kind of little dull ache where you're like, wow, yeah, that's tight. That's okay. That's kind of what we want. And just sitting up nice and tall, you can rest your hands wherever you want to rest them. And just sit up as tall as you can sit. Now again, now you can find that focal point that we did in our staff pose, or you can gently close your eyes. I find closing my eyes allows me to really focus in and send that breath into the joint, into the muscle, into the ligaments. So that soft tissue, guys, can be kind of finicky, really needs that love. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Can you feel it let go? It is such a cool feeling when we feel that gentle release, where the body no longer is fighting us, where that dull ache just starts to disappear and we can actually feel that blood flowing through the joint freely. And we've let go of that negative tension that we hold. And let's gently open those eyes. Now let's take that right leg and you might need to slide forward on your mat. We're just going to slide that right leg back and come up onto those hips to our pigeon pose. Hands are going to come out just slightly to take some of that arch out of our back. So a little bit of weight into those hands. And we want to be mindful of the knee. So if you need to come over onto your hip, that's okay. If this pose just isn't great for you and you know of another pose that feels great, take the time to do that now. Find your breath. Draw that belly button in and up. Allow that left hip to just sink towards the mat. If it feels better to you, you can always come down onto your forearms. If that's just too much pressure on those hands or on the wrists, and this is better for you, you can come all the way down if you like into sleeping pigeon. Now, if you'd like a block, kind of for your forehead to rest against, a pillow, whatever you like, you can stack your hands and just release the weight of the upper body down. So it's really just kind of playing with things, getting to know your body, listening to your body and honoring what it's telling you. Finding those big, deep breaths. Exhales are longer than the inhales. Take a second, lick your lips, move your jaw, noticing, making sure that you're not holding that jaw, clenching your teeth. Is the mind quiet? Being present in a specific moment, right here, right now, a gift. I want you to notice if you're resting your head, that little pressure point against where it's resting. I want you to move into your eyes. Are your eyes softly closed? Or are you squeezing them shut? If you're squeezing them shut, soften them. How about your jaw? Is your jaw relaxed? If not, relax it. How about the neck, guys? Any tension in the neck? Let it go. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. Come over onto that left hip. We're going to draw that right knee in, and we're going to flip it over. So now we've come to that letter Z on this side, and that should feel good. So we just really worked opening through the hip, and now we close that knee on that left side. Sitting up nice and tall, little rotation. Just taking your gaze out, working to get that left hip, left sit bone to the mat. And just breathe. Slow, steady breaths. Can you still smile? Are we sitting up nice and tall? Do we need something underneath that left hip? Do we need to extend that left leg? If that knee's not happy, guys, don't make it mad. Take care of it. We got to take care of those knees. Got to take care of ourselves, inside and out. And honestly, by slowing down, it's a great way to take care of yourself. I know it's challenging. But guys, when we go all the time, just nonstop, our body needs a break. Our mind needs some time to just be. So sometimes, if you've ever tried meditation, that can be super challenging. I know when I started doing meditations, oh my gosh, what a struggle. To quiet down and to sit still, oh my. It's only taken about 15 years to actually feel comfortable and really calm. For me, it happens a lot faster for other people. But the more you practice, the better you get. Just like everything else in life, right? Now let's gently close those eyes. Finding a sense of humor, guys. Being able to laugh at yourself. Just being able to laugh is such good medicine. If we take ourselves too seriously, what a drag. I have way too often find too many things to laugh at myself about. But it's always good. Laughter makes you feel better. Any kind of emotional release, honestly, helps you feel a little bit better. Keeping that joy in your heart, smile on your face. Sometimes it's hard to find, but as often as you can, find it. Gently open your eyes. I just had a really funny thought. When I was in Brownies, when I was a kiddo, there was a song that we used to sing about smiling. If any of you guys have been in Brownies and you know what I'm talking about, send me a message. Extending that left leg out. Again, you might need to shift on your mat, and we pull that right knee in. So we come to our pigeon pose. So again, we are going to take care of the knees. We're going to find that edge of where it feels good to us. We bring the hands forward, taking care of that lower back. You can come down onto your forearms if you prefer. So finding a place, might not be the exact same place you were on the other side, but just find a place where you can kind of surrender in and relax and let the muscles, tendons, and ligaments stretch where they're ready to go. If you like, you can extend those arms out. You can stack your hands. You can use that block or a pillow. And we're just going to give ourselves permission to sink. Big, deep breaths. So funny that I haven't thought about that song in ages. Using those exhales, guys, again. Exhales twice as long as your inhales. Those exhales are what we use to let go of resistance and to let that body surrender. So as we get to know our bodies, as we get to know our emotions, what do you hold and where? Are you a jaw clencher? Do you get tension headaches? Do you have super tight hips? Does your lower back really talk to you in not a very nice way often? So if it's in the lower back, it could be a combination of things. Could be hips, could be shoulders, could be neck. And sometimes it's different, right? Depending upon the weather, depending upon the day. If you have a tendency, that's, at least you know it, right? And you can focus on letting that go and working consistently and kindly on keeping that tension at bay, to get rid of it and then keep it at bay. Softening the eyes, relaxing the jaw, allowing yourself to just surrender. Breathe. And again, as your body starts to let go, you're welcome to move, to change from that thick pillow down to a thinner towel, from that high sitting block to a lower setting of the block. Again, celebrating the gift of movement. The ability to be still and aware. Taking time in life, today, right here, to connect mind, body, and breath. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. Let's come on back and extending those legs out nice and long. Just alternate bending knees. And we're going to work our way down to our back. So a couple different ways. You can just comfortably come back however safely you want to come down onto your knees or onto your back, or reach to the sky, soften those feet, and then just slowly, slowly, slowly roll yourself back. One vertebra at a time. And relax. Breathe. And we're going to pull the feet in towards your bottom. We're going to take that right leg and we're going to cross it up and over the left. Now you can wrap that right foot around the back of that left calf, or you can just keep those feet, the foot right up next to the shin or the calf. Arms are going to extend out to a T, and we're going to slowly, slowly let those knees come to the left. As those knees gently fall to the left, just breathe. Take your gaze out over that right arm, and we're just going to let those legs be heavy. Now, if you like, you can lift that right arm and turn your palm to the sky. Little different stretch than having those arms just out to a T. Oh, and I just gave permission to that right hip to relax. And that made a huge difference. Find your breath. Close those eyes. And with our spinal rotations, bringing out tension and tightness, promoting flexibility and youth of the spine. Keeping that spine young. So important, guys. The flexibility and the movement of the spine, so important. So moving, twisting, those side to side movements. Breathe. So moving in all directions. Finding freedom through the joints. Flexibility of those soft tissues. Keeping those bones dense and strong. It all goes hand in hand, guys. Our diet, our sleep, our water intake, our stress levels. So we want to keep that stress to a minimum. We can't keep it away completely. So just noticing when you are feeling stressed, guys, and recognizing that there are tools to help you reduce that level of stress. Hopefully to the point where it's gone. That would be amazing. But stress, worry, anxiety, guys, those never do us any good. They are never not going to happen. But on those days where we're feeling it, recognizing it, and doing what we can do to relieve it. These twisting poses are amazing at helping to reduce stress and anxiety. Let's slowly bring that right hand back down, rolling back to center, placing that right foot to the mat. Left leg crosses all the way up and over, and again, you're welcome to wrap that left foot around that right calf, or just keep those feet together, knees together as tightly as you can, and then just gently let both knees come to the right. And just let those knees open, working to keep that left shoulder from lifting. Oh my goodness, evidently my hips needed this really a lot today. And if you like, taking that left arm up, opening the palm to the sky. Now we can gaze to the sky, or you can take your gaze kind of out to the left a little bit. And just close your eyes. Remaining present right here within the stretch, within the movement, within the breath. Using those long, full exhales to release any and all negative energy. Freeing ourselves from anything that is not going to serve us well. You have the power within you to change your focus, perspective, to bring yourself back to balance, to a calm state. And oftentimes it's done through breath. Your breath is powerful, you guys. Breathing in and out through the nose, signaling to the nervous system it's okay. Everything's good, everything's cool, all is well. Those slow, steady, rhythmic breaths, bringing the mind and the body to a place of balance. A calm, soothing energy. And slowly we pull that left arm back down to a T and roll those knees back to center. Let's pull that left knee in towards the chest and then the right. Hands to the shins just below your knees and just a gentle pull. A little rock side to side. Just feels really good. Helps to align that pelvis once again, and just a little massage for your back. So our final pose is our reclined butterfly. If you would like to prop yourself up, the upper body onto a pillow and allow your bottom to drape down and open up those legs, that is absolutely great. If you prefer, you can stay flat. If you don't have a big pillow or anything, it's fine, guys. Just staying down again. No props needed, but if you like them, they're there for you to use. If you need something underneath those knees to help prop up those knees so that you can truly just relax, that's a great option as well. Hands resting comfortably on your hips, on your tummy, on your thighs, on the ground, wherever you like, wherever they're most comfortable. So as we finish our Yin Yoga practice, our final pose is reclined butterfly. And we take a moment here. Closing the eyes, relaxing the jaw. Our awareness is drawn inward. As our awareness is drawn inward, I want you to visualize a word. A word that makes you feel powerful and strong. A word that gives you energy. And I want you to see that word written out in your mind's eye in big bold print. I want you to see each and every letter and feel that sensation of strength and power. Healthy and strong. Now take a moment and visualize an image that represents that word. What do you see? Take in the details. Feel that sensation, that strength, that energy and that power within you, moving freely. Now I want you to notice what you had a deeper connection with, the word or the image. Choosing whichever you had a deeper connection to, and once again noticing it, seeing it in your mind's eye. We hold on to that sensation as we slowly let the word or that image begin to blur. Still feeling strong. Still feeling that power, that strength. Let's gently draw the knees together, rolling to one side, holding here for just a moment. Take a second. As you're ready, use the strength of your arms to help you come up. And we're going to come to a seated position once again. Sitting up nice and tall, resting your hands comfortably wherever you like. Close your eyes. Big, full, deep breaths in and out through the nose. My wish for you is a healthy, happy life each and every day. Taking time for yourself from time to time to stop, to breathe, to be present and remain present. Never living in the past, never just waiting for the future. Here, right now. And I want to thank you for joining me right here, right now. Gently pull the hands to heart center. Gently open your eyes. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Light and love to each and every one of you, each and every day, always, 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 whether we're together or not. Thank you. Be well. Take care. Any comments, any feedback, please don't hesitate. Always here for you guys. Until the next time, namaste.